Hi, my name is Robert McLeman, and this is a video for students in Wilfrid Laurier University course ES102, and it's a short introduction to the third of the labs in this course, where we talk about something called social acceptance of renewable energy technologies. Now, in environmental research and environmental studies, we like to talk about the ecological challenges that are associated with fossil fuels, and we like to promote alternatives to fossil fuels, particularly renewable energy technologies. That's things like solar panels and wind turbines, hydroelectric power, and biomass energy. And we like these technologies because most of them have relatively mild environmental impacts as compared with fossil fuels. They're often low pollutants in terms of air pollution or water pollution, and once you build these technologies, there may be some upfront costs, but once you have them, they tend to be relatively inexpensive to operate after the fact. And yet, a lot of people don't actually like these technologies when they're implemented. What we find in Ontario, where we're starting to expand our use of these renewable energy technologies, is that many people actually object to having them close to the places where they live or work. And so the question becomes, well, what are some of the challenges to the social acceptance of these technologies? So that's what we're going to explore in this lab. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to meet in our lab groups with our lab instructors. We're going to watch an extract from a video that talks about wind energy and its reception here in Ontario and compares it with the social acceptance of wind energy projects in Alberta. And what you'll find is that in Ontario, there's quite a number of conflicts that have emerged in rural parts of the province where people have actually had these technologies built very close to their homes. So we're going to watch that video, then we're going to get together in our group and go through a series of questions led by the lab instructor. Questions about, well, what are some of the reasons that people think wind technologies are a good thing, and some of the reasons why people think they're not so good. We'll also say, well, how does wind compare with, say, solar panels or biomass or hydroelectric power in terms of its acceptability? So there's a bunch of questions we'll go through. And then after the lab meeting, you'll have two things that you need to do for your written assignment. The first thing is you're going to need to read an article written by one of my former PhD students named Stuart Fast. And it's an interesting article for a couple of reasons. One of them being, it's probably the first time that anybody's actually gone to a rural community and done a systematic survey of people's attitudes towards these renewable energy technologies. And when you read the article, you may be quite surprised to find out the responses that he received from people who lived in rural eastern Ontario. So you read the article, and then what you need to do is compare the responses of people that Stuart interviewed with your own perceptions of which of these technologies are more or less socially acceptable. Then you'll do a quick, you'll do that in a table, and you'll write a quick page or a paragraph or two about that. The second thing you're going to do is, after you've read the article, is to reflect back on some of the reasons why people object to wind turbines. You had that discussion in your lab group. And then choose one reason why people object to wind turbines, and then do some research on it to find out whether that objection is based on scientific fact, or if it is based on people's opinions or anecdotal evidence, that is, things that people say or suspect might be associated with a problem, but for which there's no actual scientific evidence. So what you'll do is, for example, you might choose that wind turbines cause people headaches. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But some people may say that. Then your task is, if you select that, is to go do some research and find out whether there's any scientific evidence to demonstrate that there is an association between wind turbines and headaches. And then you'll write a paragraph telling us about the findings from your research. So those are the two tasks then that you have for this project. One is to read the article by Stuart Fast, and the link is in the lab instructions, and then compare the attitudes of people in the project to your own attitudes towards alternative energy. And then the second thing is to do a little research on one of the objections that people have to wind turbines. I'll leave it at that. Hope you have fun with the lab, and I'll see you in class.